A new era is upon us, and I'm not even kidding any longer, because the traditional financial system has confirmed XRP is the king of all cryptos. From Mr. Zoom, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP are among the top 100 most valuable assets in the entire world. We see Bitcoin 7th place, Ethereum the 25th place, and then rank 99 as XRP, okay, due to its market cap difference. But do you see the difference between the three? Bitcoin, ETH, and XRP? Well, guess what? CME does. CME 100% confirmed us today that XRP truly is the chosen one. I'm not even kidding. From Jungle Inc., CME Group just threw out a report stating XRP is 4 to 500x faster than Bitcoin, 30 to 40x faster than Ethereum. XRP's financial infrastructure. Do you guys not know what's happening here? Right? That the traditional financial system said, wait a sec. Bitcoin is a red light, no go. Ethereum, same exact thing. XRP is the fastest, most efficient, and has the cheapest fees. Right? So what do you think will make it to that new financial system? That's why I said XRP is basically on steroids here, guys. That speed plus certainty is why XRP is being taken seriously for global payments infrastructure, not just hype. Right? XRP locks in 3 to 5 seconds. The narrative is shifting from speculation to institutional adoption. Exactly. XRP is being evaluated as infrastructure. That's what we talked about. This is so mind-boggling. And CME isn't just anyone random, by the way, because they're talking about XRP as the financial infrastructure, the pyramid, right? The base form needs to be changed. It needs to be rebuilt, guys. And it will one day. And how they will do it is by XRP. Will transform the entire system. That's why it's going to be moving money around, value around instantaneously, guys, for everyone and everything, right? And you know, if the world does become really futuristic, like we're living in a digital world, even though we kind of are right now, right? We're a part of robots and AI. We're a part of it, guys. But I'm talking about imagine putting on a headset, and now you're in an entirely different world, right? Where that world to you will seem like the real world, okay? And for that, all that stuff to work out, guys, but that's really futuristic. Who knows if it'll even happen in our lifetimes? Probably, though. There needs to be a blockchain that's really efficient, okay? And to me, that's XRP. Now, on the topic of, hey, when will the case conclude? The SEC's decision on its appeal in the Ripple case is expected by August 15th, according to legal experts. While the SEC is not legally obligated to drop its appeal by this date, an August 15th deadline is set for the parties to submit a joint status report to the appellate court. This report will likely indicate whether the SEC will proceed with its appeal or withdraw it, effectively ending the legal battle. August 15th, we'll know the outcome. Okay, it all relies on the state. Now, to clarify, Ripple has still not paid the fine. The $125 million penalty was paid into escrow following the court's judgment last year. So it's basically frozen in time, right, with no movements until something happens, until something moves, right? The conclusion of this damn case, and will remain there until the appeals are concluded. Once the parties dismiss their appeals, likely soon. Wow. So these people believe it's soon, guys. Okay, this person, by the way, retired securities lawyer, so he knows what he's talking about. The money will go to Treasury. So we'll see what happens then, guys. But what are the odds of the SEC and Ripple dropping their appeals by August 15th? Status update. I'm not a gambling man, but the parties are highly incentivized to have dismissals on file by then, or at least be able to tell the court that they are in the process of doing so by August 15th, guys. Right? So what is that? That's 10 days from today. Right? 10 days from today. That everything can literally be concluded, right? Or soon to be. Fantastic news, huh? Now, people are asking, when are the SEC going to conclude the case with damn Ripple? Here's what I think. This is the UCT.dominance chart, and I think this is how we figure it out. Whenever this pump ends, okay, whenever this pump finishes, I don't know when it will happen, but probably this month, which is a dump for cryptos. Whenever this concludes, okay, this move right here, and it goes down like this, right here, I think they're going to conclude the case finally. Okay, I think it's going to be by the end of this month as well, in my humble opinion. Just because looking at the charts, I think it's all like matching up, right? So they're going to conclude and XRP is going to blast through the roof to like $5 plus. And it's going to happen instantaneously as well, in my humble opinion. Which is why here comes Ripple Stewart Alderodi, response to banking GOP, request for information, advocating for crypto clarity and innovation. Okay, now for the opportunity to respond to your request for information with over a decade of experience working with regulators all over the world and hard-earned lessons from our SEC fight, Ripple welcomes the chance to offer a unique perspective as Congress advances legislation that protects consumers and unlocks crypto innovation. Okay, so this for the entire market, it seems like. Dear Chairman Scott, Ripple welcomes the opportunity to respond to the committee's request for information regarding the digital asset market structure and supports the committee's effort to establish a clear, consistent regulatory framework that fosters responsible innovation, protects consumers, and provides regulatory clarity for all stakeholders. Thank you for your consideration. Now, this has a bunch of paragraphs and all that stuff, so we're not going to go through it. I'm going to summarize it for you guys. But basically, so regulatory clarity and tailoring. Jurisdictional balance, the SEC versus CFTC. Okay, the proposed legislation's attempt to delineate jurisdiction between the SEC and CFTC creates more ambiguity than clarity. It subjects most tokens and projects to SEC oversight, even beyond its traditional scope, necessitating revisions for a balanced framework. So, ancillary assets definition. The current definition of ancillary assets risks overreach by presuming perpetual SEC jurisdiction over tokens XRP, Ethereum, Solana. Once sold as part of an investment contract, Ripple advocates for jurisdictional tied to specific transactions, not historical facts, to avoid regulatory overreach. Use of the Howey test. The SEC misuse of the Howey test has harmed the industry. Ripple suggests Congress codify Howey with clear, objective boundaries to ensure predictability and prevent enforcement overreach. Technology functions, protocol level operations, e.g., mining, staking, consensus algorithms, should not trigger securities law obligations. Legislation should clarify this to prevent misapplication of the Howey test. And then they talk about grandfathering is existing tokens. Tokens traded widely for 5 or more years on permissionless networks should be grandfathered in, exempt from securities regulation to preserve market stability and legal certainty. And then we got investor protection. The proposed mechanism to terminate disclosure obligations is vague, risking continued regulatory uncertainty. Ripple suggests a separate standard for grandfathered tokens based on objective criteria, revising the presumption of ongoing SEC oversight. Then federal legislation should preempt state laws in areas like market structure, stablecoin issuance, and token classification to ensure consistency while preserving state authority over consumer protection and fraud enforcement. So the conclusion to all of this, guys, is basically it's signed by Stewart, okay, the chief legal officer at Ripple. The letter underscores Ripple's commitment to shaping a regulatory environment that supports innovation and protects stakeholders, drawing on lessons from its SEC litigation. The reason why they're going to take this advice, okay, by Ripple is because they literally have been fighting the SEC for years now, right? So Ripple obviously knows what they're talking about, and the laws and rules of the crypto sphere. Why? Because we're just getting very clear rules and laws as we speak. From Paul Atkins, under my leadership, the SEC is committed to providing clear guidance on the application of the federal securities laws to emerging technologies and financial activities. Today's staff statement on liquid staking is a significant step toward in clarifying the staff's view about crypto asset activities that do not fall within the SEC's jurisdiction. So basically what happened here is, I guess staking is good to go, right? So this is fantastic for Ethereum because it's proof of stake gas, right? I didn't even know that they're targeting this as well. Liquid staking refers to the process of staking crypto assets through a software protocol or service provider and receiving liquid staking receipt token and any rewards that accrue to them. We just got so much stuff happening. What's going on? SEC Commissioner Pearce, United States must zealously defend financial privacy in crypto era. Basically talking about the SEC Commissioner said the agency should embrace technology that protects privacy and safeguards. If that's the case, then what was that one coin? Zcash, I think it was. There's like privacy coins. Does that mean privacy coins are going to explode, right? That traces or that hides the information of the transactions in the distant future, and those coins will explode in this cycle. Who knows if they really want privacy here? The right of people to self-custody their cryptocurrency. Oh, here we go. Privacy is also the focal point of a Tornado Cash co-founder trial that began a few weeks ago in a federal court in Manhattan. Wow, Tornado Cash. If I'm not mistaken, Tornado Cash is basically where it like tries to hide your transactions. It basically like mixes your cryptos. Tornado Cash mixes or tumbles combining your cryptocurrency with others in a pool, then sending it to a new address so it's hard to trace back to you guys, similar to shuffling money to hide its origins. So it basically tries to hide the user. They want the American people and their government should guard zealously people's rights to live private lives and use technologies that enable them to do so. Oh wow, so Tornado Cash is giving the green light here, possibly? Who knows? But that's very fascinating, huh? And that's very beautiful because everything's traced on the blockchain. We do want that, but at the same time, maybe we don't. Because then the government will know what you're going to spend literally every penny on. But this isn't financial advice. Everyone in the comment section is asking, when is the case going to end with Ripple? I think that's one, guys. We could tell by the charts, right? So whenever this move finishes, like this, right here, is probably the end of the SEC case. But it's not financial advice. I mean, there's so much like beautiful laws being set in place here, or at least the crypto community is having clear rules of the roads here soon, if not sooner rather than later. Not financial advice. I will prepare for this new era. But anyways, that's what Facebook is. See ya.